Hey guys, as promised, I am back with an update to my faith journey, and I'm gonna try to make this quick because the sun is going down, and so I'm gonna lose light out here. Okay, I'm gonna lose the daylight that I got. But so much has occurred since the last update that I provided, so I'm likely not gonna be able to cover everything in this one video. So stay tuned for more content. But I'll start with the positives, and then I'll kind of go back and cover some of the trials and tribulations that I faced this past week. So on this past Saturday, I had the honor and privilege to join God's Girls. We partner with Knock Knock Angels, and God's Girls is the company that is founded by Phyllis, which is the lady who asked me to speak at her women's empowerment event. And so we then partner with Knock Knock Angels, which is another company that gives back to the less fortunate. So we spent pretty much most of our Saturday morning and afternoon out in San Bernardino doing a home makeover for this single mother of two. They had recently received housing after being homeless for some time and living in their car, but they didn't have furniture. It wasn't furnished. And so that's what Knock Knock Angels does. It takes, donations from those in the local community, and it furnishes homes. And so, they provided all the things, and we just went in there and we hung pictures. We put together, like the beds, made up the beds and towels and dishes, and that way her and her two children were able to come home, and their apartment is now a home because it's fully furnished. And they were just so grateful and thankful. Like, they were in tears once they saw the transformation, and it was a beautiful experience, a very humbling experience. And so, of course, life's for all of us, but there's always someone else out there that has a much more, worse circumstances than yours. And so it makes you grateful and thankful, even in the midst of your own financial struggles or your own circumstances. And so it was definitely a blessing to be a blessing and take part in that. And so I'm extremely honored to have had a hand in that and to have helped. And I'll post a totally separate video because I got a lot of content and pictures and videos and stuff like that. And so I'll come back and do another video for that. And then Sunday, me and Paula, my sis Paula, we went to church, and then afterwards we went to the beach. And I'll have to come back and tell you guys, it was totally her idea for us to go to the beach, and the beach is one of my favorite places. So she was just so sweet and thoughtful to even suggest that. But I had no intentions on going anywhere for pleasure because I'm like, I got to get to the money. And the reason why I'm feeling like I got to go hustle and go hard and DoorDash is because this past week, I had been freezing my debit card because there were certain auto payments that I didn't want to come out because I had to prioritize my money without me having a consistent income. I got to be strategic about what I'm paying. I can't pay everything. I just don't have the money to do that right now. And that's a whole nother conversation because, I've been talking to God about that because I'm like, God, like, here I am. I resigned from my job and I'm out here, and I'm like, out of obedience to you, and I'm struggling, like, you know what I'm saying? So there's this part where I get concerned about my credit and me not paying some of these bills and debts and stuff. I'm like, I just know what that's going to do to my credit. But I still kind of have this certain level of peace about it. So anyway, I unfreeze my debit card because I had to pay my light and gas bill for my home, my apartment back in Atlanta, and I forgot to freeze it back. Well, lo and behold, a debit occurred. One of the auto payments for over $700 something pretty much wiped out most of the money I had made on DoorDash. And so, but I had this peace about it. I wasn't mad. I didn't get upset. Like, I didn't curse God. Like, I'm just like, well, God, if you allow that to happen, then, it had to be for a reason. And it stung a little bit, but I was just like, what can I do about it? So it's like, it's not even a point of worrying or stressing about it because it is what it is. But the reason why it stung even more was because I had also made arrangements for my cell phone bill to come out. So now that happened, now the cell phone payment didn't clear. And I had a certain amount of money in another account, but that would have definitely just took all the money. I had been using that account to make sure I have gas and food and so forth. And so I didn't really want to touch those funds. So I just had to go hard, go back to DoorDash. And so when my sis Paula had told me that she wanted to go out to the beach because the Lord told her that, like, it was one of my favorite places, and that, she should, suggest that we go to the beach. And so I was able to, in that moment, not just worry about this journey and just to embrace that day. And we enjoyed the sunset. We had sandwiches and salads courtesy of my sis Paula, and it was just so beautiful. It was so peaceful, and I sincerely enjoyed that moment, and it was such a blessing for her to even suggest that and be thoughtful. What made our time out at the beach so special to me was because a few days prior, Paula had to let me know because, of course, her home is where I have been at. Her and her family have opened their doors to me, and that's where I've been at for the past couple of weeks that I've been out here in California. And they've been such an amazing blessing, just such a loving, kind, genuine family. And it's been such a blessing. And so but she had to let me know that they were anticipating some relatives coming in town. And so because they already have a full house, then at that point, with their guests that were going to be in town, they basically wouldn't be able to accommodate me. And so I was going to have to pretty much figure out what I was going to do. And so she wanted to ensure that our last day together, that that I would enjoy our time, that we can create more memories. And so that was just so special to me, that she was so thoughtful, and the Lord put it on her heart for me to go to one of my favorite places, which is the beach. And so we had an amazing time, and I'm extremely thankful and grateful to her and her family for that. And so and honestly, once she let me know that they had relatives coming in town, I got a little bit excited, because I was like, yes, that means I could go back home, right? I can return to Georgia. But God didn't tell me that. And so one of the things about it is that, like, I'm so intentional about seeing this journey through, because I don't want to give up. And I had an amazing conversation with my speaker coach, Dr. Dorsey, on yesterday evening. And he really gave me some great things to think about, because there was this concern that I had, is like, is God going to be disappointed? Like, if I don't see this thing all the way through? Because then there was also the fact that my pastor had been telling me that I need to get my butt back home. And, he kind of joked about it. But for me, it's like, it's imperative that I know that, like, I need to know what it is that God wants me to do, because I'm so intentional about being obedient and doing what it is God wants me to do. So much so that I'm not even thinking about what it is that I want to do. And my coach, Dr. Dorsey, he's like, there comes a point in your faith journey where God allows you to have a choice, to make a choice about what it is that you want to do. So he said, I want you to really take a moment to think about it. What is it that you want to do? And, I got mixed emotions and feelings, because I'm so intentional about, I want to do whatever it is that God wants me to do. But at the same time, I'm uncomfortable. I want to go back home sometimes. But that, and feelings are not facts. And so some moments, I have these moments where, because I'm uncomfortable, then I kind of do want to go back home. But at the same time, I'm kind of excited, because I'm excited about where God is leading me to, where he's taking me to, and what he's doing in my life. And I'm excited about reaching this destination. And so even in spite of the discomfort, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the rejection and the opposition that I'm facing along the journey, it's just kind of like, I'm still excited. There's a certain level of anticipation and expectation. And so, yeah, there's that part about it. And so I don't know necessarily what my next steps are. The Lord hasn't revealed them to me, but I will be sure to come back and update you guys. I will be sure to post another video kind of recapping our day, the home makeover that we did for that wonderful, beautiful single mother. That's what I have for you guys right now. I hope and pray that if this video reached your timeline, that it reached you in great spirits and in great health. My name is Karessa, and I'll be back soon with an update to my faith journey. If you feel led, if God puts it on your heart and you feel led to sow into my faith journey, I will be sure to include the payment methods in the description box on my YouTube channel. Okay, I love you guys. Talk to you later.